This is a 2016 onwards Honda Civic, and the purpose of this video is really just to show you a little walk around of the engine bay and show you where the main components are. There are obviously a lot of people who drive these cars and don't know much about cars, so they might need a little hand on finding what's what, or finding certain components or certain fluid top-up locations. So obviously we've got the engine bay on show here. The bonnet or the hood is up, and as we come over to the left hand side, this is where you'll put your screen wash in. So obviously the water which squirts out onto the windscreen goes in there. It's the you put your screen wash and water in there as well. As we come along here, some of the main components to this engine bay, this is where your coolant will be. So if you got a warning message to say that you need a coolant top up, unscrew this cap and put your new coolant in. Obviously this is quite warm, so I wouldn't recommend opening this if the temperature is warm on that. Wait till it's completely cooled down, and then you'll be safe to undo the cap and put your new coolant in. Brake fluid reservoir is right here. This is where your brake fluid will sit. So if you need to do a top up again, just make sure, take the cap off, put your fluid in, make sure it's tight and secure once you've done that. Engine oil, for those who don't know, is this little cap here. It should, it's my left hand I'm using, I haven't got enough power in there right now. Maybe I need to hit the gym. So that's the engine oil top up in any case. As we come over to the middle of the engine bay, well, this is the engine itself, Earth Dreams Technology VTEC Turbo. These are the ignition coils. So we have 4 ignition coils, and these are quite easy to pull out. We've just got a screw there and a connector, electrical connector there. Once we pull this out, sitting right down in the tube there will be the spark plugs. So the spark plugs sit right below each cylinder coil. So it makes this car really easy to service if you are looking to service your own car. As we come along, we go into the intake, the air intake. So the air comes in here. This is the mass airflow sensor. The mass airflow sensor will regulate the air which is coming into the engine and give you readings accordingly. This is the original part number. This is the original MAF, in case anybody was looking to replace their MAF, because they do have a shelf life kind of thing, so they probably will fail eventually, and at some point, if you're keeping this car for a long time, you will need a new mass airflow sensor, but they should be good for, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. Then we come along to the ECU. This is a quite important part of the vehicle. That's the ECU. It has 2 electrical connections, which are just, you can unclip these just by pressing that in and clipping it out. This is the battery. Again, if you are looking to replace the battery, this is what's installed from the factory, so it might be worth getting a replacement battery which is equal to that if you do need one. And then we come to the fuse box in here. I think there might be another fuse box, but this is certainly a fuse box in the engine bay and has a few relays in there as well. So yeah, that is just a really short and basic walk around of some of the main components of the engine bay on this it's a 2018 model, but this car was produced from 2016 onwards. So I hope it helps, and if you do need any spares for your Honda Civic, I would say click the link directly below this video. It will take you to a place where you can pick up all sorts of spares. Thanks for watching. I hope it helps.